The Lure. You heard about this movie? Have you seen this movie? I doubt it. Not that it's obscure, just probably not one on your radar. The Lure. Yeah. This is why I do the show. Is like sometimes you're just scrolling through social media and a poster for a movie that you've never heard of comes up and you're like, "What is that?" That's a mermaid in a bathtub. That's intriguing. So you look into it and you realize it's on the Criterion channel and you just bought the Criterion channel. So you're ready to go into this. And you watch something that just blew your mind in a way you weren't expecting. I saw nothing for this movie before I watched it. I saw that poster and I'm like, that's exactly my vibe. It looks weird and uncomfortable. So I want to see what that is. This movie is really fun in a very weird way. If I said techno musical about mermaids in show business, would that mean anything to you? That's what this movie is, man. It's a musical. It's about mermaids. Super horny. The lesson is never change for a man. That's perfect. That's what you want to see from a movie. It's kind of awesome. It's such a weird film. So this is a Polish flick from about a decade ago. And it just has this really specific energy to it that is hard to capture. It feels very self-aware that it's a weird premise, but it's also taking itself really seriously and is having fun. It balances all these tones really beautifully, where it's just, here's a song with some really interesting music choices, very synth, very techno. It is very techno, but like that kind of dark techno, kind of Nine Inch Nails adjacent, if you will. Like it's got that beat to it. But then also, do you want to fuck this mermaid? It's a really weird balance. So this movie follows two mermaid sisters. Their names are Silver and Golden, or they have other names. It's like Sabrina adjacent. It's a Polish film, so it's a little bit different spelled. So it's like Sabrina and Zolta, something like to that effect, or Zolota, something like that. They're these two mermaids. The movie opens up with them in the water. They're singing a song to this family that's watching from the shores. They're like, "Hey, get us out of the water. We'll come hang out with you." So they lure these mermaids out of the water. They see that they're mermaids, and their first instinct is to put them in a strip show. I can't be mad at that, because that makes sense to me. Like, people are weird. If you found two live mermaids that were open about their sexuality and comfortable with it, I think somebody would realistically exploit that for sex and just entertainment. So this family already works at this like nightclub or something. They have like a music routine where they sing. There's the woman who leads. She's like this older woman, not someone you'd particularly want to see take her top off, but she's beautiful enough and she sings. And then there's the drummer and then the backup vocalist, which is just like her partner and the younger one who's their son, right? They find these mermaids. They go to like the manager of this nightclub. They're like, "Look what we found. They're like mermaids. If we get them wet, they turn into a mermaid." And the mermaid effects look really good. Like, surprisingly good. There is this weird energy of like, there's the fish vagina. Are we gonna shape a water this? We don't. We don't shape a water this. But there's a little slit that could be used if you were so inclined. So Silver and Golden, they join this nightclub, and they're doing an act here now. They're going to try to integrate into human society. We get a montage of them shopping and going all around and like being like part of the human world, and everyone's having a good time. And the one sister, Silver, she starts to be infatuated with this one guy, the young son of the band, and they start to flirt a little bit, and they start to kiss a little bit. And Golden, she's like, "That's dumb. First off, that's what we're doing here? I thought we were here to like succeed, not like make out with these losers. You can't fall in love with him. There's explicit rules. that if you fall in love with a human and things go wrong, you're gonna die. Which is a very specific rule. That's fine. So that's a thing going on there. They also eat people because they're actually like cannibalistic mermaids that feed on flesh and blood. So we can't have them eating people. They're going to try to eat normal food, but it's not really working. They also communicate telepathically, making like dolphin noises. So that's really cool. This is essentially a retelling of the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid story. So if you're familiar with that, it's all those beats, a little bit more like a darker take on that, but very modern. Like, look at fame and celebrity rising you up, and people just want to see you like stand in a big glass bowl and like kiss your sister, and like it's really weird, but it's got really upbeat techno music, and people are looking directly into the camera, saying how they're feeling. Like, it's very, very stylized and just not meant to be realistic. This is a very self-aware movie that's making you go, what are you going to do? Are you going to fall in love with these fish sisters? Are you going to try to help them? Are you going to complain when Golden is mad at her sister for making out with the boy, that she kills an innocent man, and then there's like a police officer that comes to like figure out what happened to this missing person, and then Golden sleeps with this police officer, and we get a really interesting lesbian mermaid officer sequence where she's like licking the fish scales. I mean, how do you feel about that? I think it's bold. I can't look away. I'm very engrossed with what's happening. And it's cool. It's also just a coming-of-age tale. Like, a warning of your first love. And that's the story with Silver. She meets this guy in the band. They start to flirt a little bit. They kiss a little bit. She seductively leads him into a bathroom where she gets in a tub. And she says, I'm a mermaid. You can fuck me now. You can't have sex with these girls when they're in their human form because they have no genitalia. They have no butthole, and they have no vagina. They're smooth like a Barbie doll. But if they're in the bathtub and they got their fishtail out, they got that little slit, and if you are open to it, you can do that. But this guy, this blonde boob, figures, you're just an animal to me. I'm not having sex with your fish parts. Which is the tale as old as time. It's something people have been joking about forever. Would you rather have sex with a mermaid where the top half's human and the bottom half's a fish, or the top half is a fish and the bottom half is a human? This answers the question. It's weird either way because there's fish parts. But I guess you can fake it because if it's a human face, that's more normal, right? Than looking at a fish. But The Shape of Water, it don't give a shit, you know? That's this movie, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't think we'd be talking this much about mermaid genitalia, but this movie's about that. So as the story progresses, Silver is more in love with this boy, and she says, I'm going to do the ultimate thing so I can have sex with this guy. I'm going to have bottom surgery where they cut off my whole fish part and give me some dead woman's legs and vagina, which I guess you can just do. You could do that whole fucking surgery and it works. And I'm like, holy shit. But doing that means her connection to her sister is going to break and she won't be able to sing properly because they're like a singing duo on top of like taking their tops off and being mermaids. So that's just happening. Let's wrap up that plot line before we talk about some other characters here. Silver gets these random girl's legs. She takes some time to heal. She can't really walk properly and she can't speak, but she is so horny for this guy that she's going to risk it all to sleep with him. A relatively recent time after the surgery, they try to have sex. She hurts him by not knowing how to use her vagina properly. He freaks out and stops falling in love with her. Now this woman just risked everything to be with this guy who doesn't love her anymore. He eventually falls in love with another woman and they get married, and Silver is stuck in this wheelchair until the very end of the movie when she realizes she can kill him and go back to being a mermaid, or accept her love for him and become sea dust, which is just bubbles. She chooses to become bubbles. So Silver dies because she loves him too much. It's a cautionary tale about young love, and changing yourself for a man is never the right thing to do. You have to be true to yourself and the love will come. Don't worry about like your exterior problems. It's about what's inside that matters, right? That's that story. That's a beautiful love story that you like to see. Golden meets another mermaid adjacent person. This is like a punk rocker, and I'm like, you already have me sold on the techno music for these burlesque mermaids, but you're telling me there's like a merman who's in a punk rock band and he shaved off the horns on his head, and him and Golden like have one weird concert where there's like screaming into camera about how everything is fucked up. I am so on board for that. That is so cool. And he just becomes a supporting player where he's just like, yeah, like we have to do these things to stay in this world because music's awesome, humans are sick, we look fucking dope. And I'm like, yeah, you do. That's what you have to do. And I believe that. And it works. And the other thing is every other character just kind of wants to sleep with these girls, which, the police officer does, this boy does, the boy's dad clearly does too. There's a joke where like the older people in the band, so like the husband and wife, they're like getting it on, having sex, and the woman's like, why do you smell like fish? And he's like, what? And she's like, are you doing stuff to our mermaids? Get off of me. And I just love the subtlety of that, because she's not even like upset by it really. Like their relationship's clearly over because of what he's doing, but she has a dream herself where she's breastfeeding the mermaids. Like everyone is just so enraptured with these girls, which is like, the call of the siren in the sea, and you're just like so tempted to be a part of it and all that shit. Like I don't hate that at all. I understand that these are two beautiful girls. They have beautiful voices. They have beautiful bodies. They got a fishtail. You can still fuck the fishtail though. And like they'll lure you at the bar and then like bite your neck when you're inside the car next to the water, and then they'll drag themselves into the lake so they feel better after killing you. And then they'll have sex with a police officer and cut off their legs to be with you. All the while, it's just like a really interesting soundtrack that's playing over everything. Like I never thought I'd watch a movie where one of the lead characters is lying on a hospital bed with a mermaid tail, and there's a pair of legs beside her, and she's singing directly into camera like, the things you do for love, doop-de-doop, doop-de-doop. I'm so happy because I'm gonna have sex. I didn't think I'd ever see that. But it's good. It's like really interesting and well handled. Very fascinating concept. Like changing yourself for show business, changing yourself for a man, the ways we destroy ourselves for fame and popularity and love. Really beautiful. The movie does end when Silver turns into sea foam, and then Golden kills the guy because he couldn't love her back, and then she jumps into the ocean to, I guess, just get back on with her life. All this for nothing, essentially. Nobody turned out happy. People died. Things are bad. It's a cautionary tale. Don't fuck a mermaid. But the entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking, hey, buddy, if you just fucked the mermaid, this wouldn't have happened. You'd still be alive. She wouldn't be crippled and voiceless. Everyone would be okay, I guess. That's the cautionary tale. Like, true love doesn't exist in the world of mermaids, but you never know. I guess you could find it. Maybe. Great cast. Great songs. The mermaids look incredible. Such a unique movie. And this is from a first-time director. Pretty impressive. Like, this is not what I would be expecting. I'm just blown away by what I'm seeing here. It's gorgeous. It's fun. It's chaotic. It's dark, but uplifting and inspiring. Very impressive little feature. I kind of respect it. I kind of appreciate everything it was trying to do and accomplish. And that's a special thing to see. They have a song called The Lure, which is where the title gets its name from. It's very interesting. It's very glamorous. Just hot people being hot and kissing and killing. But they're mermaids. This is the first mermaid movie we're talking about. Cool. I really recommend checking this one out. I think it's well worth the watch. So that's going to do it for this episode of Fantastic Tales. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.